first hearing of the Energy and Commerce Committee during the 117th Congress. And it's obviously the purpose of it is to examine the urgent need to increase COVID-19 vaccinations. This committee's top priority is to combat this pandemic, and in the coming months, we'll push an aggressive agenda that will ensure the Biden administration has all the tools and resources it needs to crush the virus. The goal is more pressing than ever. Thousands of Americans continue to die each day from COVID-19, while new, more contagious strains are emerging in the United States. I'm afraid that we're now in a race to keep vaccines ahead of the new virus variants, and the stakes could not be higher. The pandemic's toll on the nation is tragic. To date, more than 440,000 Americans have lost their lives from COVID-19, surpassing the total number of U.S. soldiers killed during World War II. More than 10 million Americans are unemployed, while 1 in 3 households struggle to make ends meet. It's no wonder Americans' assessment of their mental health is worse than at any point in the past 2 decades. And experts, of course, warned of a dark winter, and unfortunately, they were right. In these dark days, but we're now seeing the rollout of some of the most powerful tools we have to contain the virus. That's safe and effective vaccine. But unfortunately, the initial rollout during the Trump administration was marked by confusion and delays. It's no secret that the demand for vaccine is outpacing supply, leading to canceled appointments, endless lines, and mounting concerns, and limited transparency into the nation's vaccine supply, as well as conflicting accounts about a reserve held by the federal government, have all contributed to uncertainty and frustration. But thankfully, the Biden administration is already taking action to address these issues, including purchasing additional doses that will increase our vaccine supply by 50% by the end of summer. And I hope to learn today what more Congress and the federal government can do to provide more certainty and help accelerate vaccinations across the country, but at the same time ensuring equitable access to the most vulnerable, for the most vulnerable to these vaccines. And despite the issues we've encountered with the vaccine rollout and the painful road still ahead, I'm still optimistic, as I noticed Diana Gett was, about that we can finally be on the path to beating the virus. We have to be optimists. As I mentioned, there are currently 2 extraordinarily effective and safe COVID-19 vaccines authorized by the FDA, and more could be on the way soon. But states have stretched their limited resources to implement an unprecedented vaccination program reaching 25 million Americans and counting. As you know, I've been very critical that during the Trump administration in the last year or so, there really was no national strategy. States were forced to compete with each other, and that led to the confusion. There needs to be a national strategy. But now the Biden administration says they're going to be guided by science, and they're going to have a national strategy to beat the pandemic. This is what we've been long calling for. But this nationwide vaccination campaign, it really is historic, but it's going to require substantial support from Congress to succeed. To that end, Congress must move swiftly to pass the American Rescue Plan, the comprehensive proposal from the Biden administration that would fund vaccination efforts and provide Americans much needed relief. This is the new COVID bill. Under that bill, we would invest an additional $20 billion in a national vaccination program to help ensure greater accessibility and availability of vaccines across the country. It includes critical financial support to state and local governments that have been pleading for more support from the federal government to assist in their efforts to combat this virus. So I hope my Republican colleagues will join me without delay in supporting this new bill that the Biden administration is putting forward. I don't think there's any time to waste, and I welcome the state health officials with us who are going to look forward to their assessments of the national vaccination effort. You're our vital partners in this extraordinary campaign. You're being called upon to execute innovative solutions to unparalleled challenges, and I want to thank you. We understand that you should not have to do this without substantial help and a national coordinated effort, and we want to know what we can do to achieve that. So thank you again, Madam Chairwoman.